All right, so let's get back to buckler and sword 133. So today we are gonna be going through the thrusting, but before that let's have a look at some important aspects of changing the direction of the cuts. So previously we used the fourth guard to change from, let's say, upward cutting into downward cutting, or from downward cutting back to upward cutting. So this is something what you can practice to get the hang of it, of the basic movement of the sword. But this is not the whole thing. We have a few more ways to do the directional change, and let's have a look at these now, because we are going to be needing those later when we proceed with the fundamentals of the 133. So the easiest one is, of course, that when you cut, you stop here and then you cut back again. So having a, let's say, downward cutting flow, you stop here and you change the direction like that. You can also do it from the other side, so you can be cutting here and then you stop here and then you change the direction of the cut. Or you can stop here and change the direction of the cut. Or here. So this is really simple, but it's also quite useful. So let's recap that once again. So cutting from the second, you can cut here and then change it, you come back here. Cutting from the third, you cut down and come back from here. Cutting from the first, you go to the second and you come back from here. Or from the fifth, you cut up and then you come back to the fifth. So that you can do like, but in general, if you're cutting down, you change the direction when you go down, and then you are in this upward path. Okay, so we are cutting down, we come here, and then we change. So now we're on the upward path. And if we are cutting from below to high, then you change here on your shoulder. So cutting from below to high, you change here on your shoulder. So that's how it's done. So it's really simple way to change the direction. All right, so now we have two ways. One is to use the fourth, and the other one is to use this stopping the flow, let's say. So we are stopping here and then we are cutting. We are stopping here and then we are cutting. The only problem with this one is that because we are stopping the flow, it will take a little bit more time to make the next cut. However, at the very high level, it doesn't. But we are not going to be going through how it's done on the very high level. So this is the basic. You stop here and then you cut. Stop here, then you cut. Stop here, then you cut. Stop here, and then you cut. Okay, third option. And this is really, really important option as well. It's going to be using the horizontal cut. And I'd like everybody to think that 133, does it actually have horizontal cuts in it? And I'm tempted to say that yes, it does. And those are already part of the very, very fundamental first place. Quite related to this Nukken, for example. Okay, so let's see how this goes. So we take as a template, you can forget about the shield for now. It's just more difficult to understand if I use the shield. But let's say we have the downward cutting motion. So if I'm not going to be using the fourth, and if I'm not going to be reversing the direction by stopping, how can I change to upward? So what I will do, I will insert horizontal cut here, and then I start cutting upward. Let's do that again. So I cut downward. So what I do, I will insert horizontal cut, and then I will start cutting upward. So we can do it from the other side as well. So downward, cut here, insert the horizontal cut, and then start cutting upward. So let's do it again. Downward, 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 horizontal, upward, upward. That's how to do it. So what about, what if we are cutting upward? It's the same thing. So if we want to change the direction, we are gonna be inserting the horizontal. So I cut from here, then I insert the horizontal, and then I cut downward. So let's do it again. Upward, 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 horizontal, downward, 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 downward. It works the same way from the other side. So if we are cutting upward, we cut upward, horizontal, downward. So it's this kind of change. Or from here, you can cut here. So to practice this, take one starting point, make the diagonal cut, make the horizontal cut, and then the diagonal cut again. So if I change from downward to upward, do just this and then repeat. So downward, horizontal, up. Then take a second position from here. So you cut downward, horizontal, up. And come back here, downward, horizontal, up. Come back here, downward, horizontal, up. So it's easier to drill this in. From lower position, you cut upward, horizontal, down. And then you can come back here. Upward, horizontal, down. From here, same thing, only in mirror. So it's gonna be upward, horizontal, down. So we go upward, horizontal, down. Once more, upward, horizontal, down. But this is not the end of it. Let's have a closer look at what is horizontal cut. Before we understand that, we have to understand what is a diagonal cut. So diagonal cut is like, if we would have a cross in front of here, I would be cutting along this cross-like axis. So like a cross before you, or me here. So these would be like the lines of the cuts. So horizontal cut, if we are doing it in a mid-level, it's like this. So this is going from left to right. So from the side it looks like this. This is easy to understand. You can go like above your arm or below your arm if you are holding a buckler here. But there are more horizontal cuts. So one horizontal cut is going along, it's upward. So you go here, you start low, you cut here. So from the side, it kind of looks like it's going along a line, right? From the front, it looks like this. So this is what you use if you want to cut horizontal from here to, let's say, to somebody's head. Or incoming weapon. This can be also used as a block or parry. Right, so this is horizontal, still. So this is horizontal, but this is also horizontal. And there's one more. It's a low horizontal. So now we are cutting from shoulder to shoulder. I'm gonna take this away, otherwise I will be maybe cutting my own hand, which is not nice with sharps. So you cut from shoulder to shoulder. You can cut below your arm or above if you are going like this. This is still horizontal. So if you look from the side, it looks like my sword is moving more or less on one line. And this cut, by the way, when somebody is using a shield, this is really useful to cut at the legs So those are the 3 horizontal cuts, and you can of course use those cuts to change the cutting direction as well. So if you're cutting here, you can do the high horizontal, and then you can even cut like the middle horizontal from there. But typically you would be like cutting here, doing the high horizontal, and then you change into upward. You can do like low horizontal here and then change into downward. So the interesting thing about these horizontal cuts is that you can always use those to change the direction. So for example, in the first play, of course you can cut diagonally. So if I'm coming from the half shield and I do this, I can cut diagonally. So on this axis, right? This line. So I can do that, but I can also cut the high horizontal. So I can do this. So then I end up here. So it looks like this, which is maybe looking a little bit more like it's in the manuscript, right? And from the other side, about the nukken, so of course, it can be done, every cut can be done in many ways. It can be done long, can be done short. But the basic thing for nukken is like you cut here and then you reverse the direction of the cut. So if you do like schützen here, you can reverse the direction. You don't have to do it with the flow. With the flow it will look like this would be downward, or this would be horizontal. But if you reverse the direction, then it looks like this, which is maybe a little bit more like it's in the manual. But in the I.33, so you have always these options like which cut do you actually want to use. But the root of the movement, it's always going to be the same. This kind of a infinity sign, but you can cut diagonal, or you can come in with horizontal, or you can even just reverse the direction. It's up to you what you want to do. All right.